The planet does not need more successful people. The planet desperately needs more peacemakers, more healers, more restorers, more storytellers, and lovers of all kinds. Dalai Lama. We are having two very strong stelliums in the sign of Aquarius and Pisces. And stellium is when three or more stars are in the same sign of the zodiac. Aquarius and Pisces are neighbors in the zodiac. So as they are side to side, they can't see so much each other, but they have so much to teach and complement to each other. Aquarius, from one side, is the third and final air elements sign. Despite of the name Aquarius, it's not a water element sign, but a very wise, because it brings all the knowledge of the air element of the zodiac, and its modality is fixed modality, because it's between the winter and the spring, so it contains and preserves this archetype. On the other side, we have Pisces, and Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, the third and final water element of the zodiac. So it brings all of these memories and experiences. It's all of the union of all of that. So such symbolic and important signs of the zodiac, the two last signs of the zodiac, one from air elements and other from water elements, and Pisces has the mutable modality, so it's a sign that makes this transition from winter to spring, and the south hemisphere it's the opposite way. So both of these signs, being the two last signs of the zodiac, as well as Capricorn, but Aquarius and Pisces even more, they have a very collective influence. And Aquarius, on one side, it's about our thoughts, our conversations, our sharing of information. It speaks a lot about the technology as well. At the other side, Pisces, it's about our feelings, our deepest memories. So how in one side our thoughts, our opinions and everything, and on the other side our feelings, our deepest memories, how both of these archetypes influence all the collective. But we need to think first not on the collective side, but on a personal side. How our thoughts, how the conversations we have, how our sharing of information are affecting and influencing the collective. And our feelings, how the way you feel can affect the collective, can affect your actions, can affect your thoughts. In all of that, it's all a mixed, big thing that really affects everything. And when we think about what is happening in the world, we cannot think that it's just something there that is happening. And we can do nothing about it because it's just something there. No, this is very wrong, because we are all parts of the same system, of the same planets, of the same galaxy, of the same everything. So everything we think, everything we share, everything we feel is influencing the whole, right? So we had a very powerful new moon, Aquarius new moon, this week. And it's quite interesting because the moon and Aquarius, the moon in Aquarius, the new moon is when the sun and the moon do a conjunction. So they are the two complementary archetypes, the sun and the moon. We can think about the duality of everything together. How the moon in Aquarius is so interesting when the moon is the subjective side of things and speaks about our memories, our pasts, our experiences. And in Aquarius, this is my doggy, sorry. In Aquarius, it's such a revolutionized sign. It's just such ruled by Uranus, and um, Uranus has been in retrogradation, and this week got in direct motion. And when Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is such a volatile planet, such a changing planet, always like changing something. It's the winds, it's the storm, it's all of this archetype of volatile stuff. And in Taurus, I spoke a lot about this in one video, and there's this sense of change in the air, and not only in the collective but also personally in some area of our lives. We feel that there's a need for change, and this can come through insights, this can come through truths being revealed, this can come as breakthroughs, whatever. But what I want to share is my opinion about all of this that is happening. That all of us have this responsibility to understand at what point our thoughts, what we speak to each other, uh, what we feel, our memories, all of that can affect the changes that are happening, the results of processes that are associated to the collective. And we need to understand that all of us have this responsibility to, and consciousness and awareness, that we have a role in all of this as well. And how can, if the moon is memories and experiences, and Aquarius has this energy of freedom and liberation and changes and revolutionize things and volatile and all of that, how can we come back, moon, and look to all in a different way, in a renewed way, from the mind more opened and not so fixed and stuck to certain ways? How can we think and express from our hearts and not so much from our minds? There's a, in Portuguese, we say minds and lie is the same words. So it's actually very funny because we can say how our minds can lie to ourselves. And this is also something we can think about when we think about Aquarius archetype and Pisces archetype. When in one side we have a air, the third and final air element of the zodiac, and on the other side, the third and last water element of the sign. Such wisest signs. How can we work in our ideas, in our perceptions, in our opinions, in our ways of being and express ourselves, and understand if all of those are actually aligned to our most authentic selves, if it's not something that we just observed from the system, from friend groups, from family patterns, whatever it is. How can we do this separation in ourselves, trying to review this in ourselves and understand at what point are we following ideas or opinions of others and not actually going inside of ourselves and trying to understand if this is something that we actually feel, if this is something, if this idea that I have, or this opinion that I have, or this something that I shared or said to someone, if this is actually something aligned to who I am, to my deepest knowing and and acknowledgement of my most authentic way of being. And this is really important to review at this time. And I want to share some part of my life that I was speaking in the biography of YouTube about Bangladesh. I always was a girl who was very adventurous and very wanted to explore everything and getting to know everyone and giving myself to everyone and everything, sometimes with no limits at all. But this is something that I've been learning through the time. And anyways, first because of family issues, and then I just keep this is my doggy, yeah, I said that already. And because of family issues when I was more child, but then I just kept being like that, traveling and exploring everything and getting to know everything and just being always very curious and all of that. And then when I was living in Lisbon with 26 and 27 years old, I was working in Casino Lisbon of Lisbon. My words is messy. And I never had so much time to my personal life and to friends and all that, because the ones who knows that's working and living alone in Lisbon and not having help at any way, it's very hard to survive. You need to work a lot. You don't have time for yourself or for your things. It's really crazy. You just have time to rest and to buy some food sometimes, and that's it. Then you go to work again, then you come back, then it's always like that. Anyways, to tell that I when I was working in Casino Lisboa, I was trying to see if I was finding some people from the music industry and trying to explore more that area. And I got to know people from music industry, but anyway, I couldn't have time even to myself, so it was hard anyway. But to tell you that I met some guy, Picasso, and we shared contact, and he was not working in the music industry anyway. But I got to a point working in that place that it was getting close to Christmas time, and last years I didn't pass Christmas with my mom, so I was really tired at that time, and that year I just decided to no, I'm just going to leave this work, I'm going to leave Lisbon, and I'm going to pass Christmas with my mom, and then I will see, maybe I go and living to Lagos, I have a house there, and then I will see what I can do in my life. So let's see. And then when I was already in family, with family, it was when I actually started to go to social media, and I found this message of Picasso, and then we started to actually speak with each other and all of that. And then this was progressed very quickly. Then he came to visit me on 29th of December, when it was my birthday, when it's my birthday. And it was very quickly when we started to meet each other more often, and I was understanding that when he was speaking with his mother on telephone, I understood that his mother was really sick. So I said to him, why you don't go visit your mother to Bangladesh? And then he shared to me that his mom was very sick, and I told him, then you should yeah, I'm messing everything. Anyways, he told me he was really with fear of traveling by plane. And then I told him, then I go with you, and I stayed in the middle of the way. Then you go to Bangladesh, and then I come back to Portugal. And then when I come back to Portugal after 1 day, 2 days, he called me saying my mom just died when we stopped in Dubai, because we had to be that time then to do scale. I think it's like that you say in English. And it was really crazy. Then I just went to Bangladesh straight away to be with him, and it's crazy because then came the pandemic, and then we stayed locked in Bangladesh, and it's just to tell you, to share that only when I was far away from my culture, I started to review everything of my own personality, and it was really crazy because I was living in such different culture from my own, and I started to realize who I was at that point, what ideas and perceptions and everything I had absorbed from family, from my own experiences, from everything. And then I got to that point of like really trying to understand myself, trying to understand everything, like where I was wrong, where my family was wrong, where all of those things. And it was there that I actually started to study astrology, and was really crazy how everything was aligning so fast with everything, and so many insights and all of that. Anyways, yeah, then we came to Portugal, then we keep traveling outside of Portugal, and then I started to realize that wasn't for me anymore, and I needed to come back to my roots and reconstruct myself from zero. And here I am, after 4 years, 5 years, you're already in 2025. And just to share with you that sometimes we need to stop and try to understand where are we being from perceptions and things that we have absorbed from the system, from family, from friends, from work, from anything. And the world is so crazy that as I started this video sharing this phrase from Dalai Lama, we need to think at one point this automatic way of living is actually healthy for ourselves, for the collective, for the nature, for everything. And at one point we actually need to make money and be successful and do this and do that, and then at one point are we actually happy? Are we keep purchasing things just for what? To show people that, I have this, I have that, look at me, look at that, da da da. Is actually that important? When we are alone, is this really important? What is actually important in our lives? And Uranus has been doing this review since the last months. Saturn in Pisces has been doing this work very strongly since the last year, especially since the last 2 years, but especially last year. And now the North nodes in Pisces, the eclipses axis just changed in the beginning of January to Pisces and Virgo. We will keep working these archetypes, and it's interesting that I'm not such a person of following following like the logic of things, but I started to be like that nowadays. I started to learn, but I'm a very intuitive and emotional person, and is what I wanted to say is that it's actually interesting that the last year I just shared videos about Aquarius season, Pisces season, Aries season, Taurus season, and I spoke a little bit of Gemini. And these 5 signs are really, really important. I didn't do this purposely. I wanted to actually keep doing that with the zodiac all over. But when we were on the summer, I was very emotional with some things that were happening to me at that time, and I really needed more quiet and alone time to integrate myself again, to separate myself from those perceptions, those attachments, and all of that. And this is themes that I want to keep talking with you guys with the next videos. But just to share to you that these 5 signs I just spoke and I made videos last year are really important to, from now on, not only this year, but from the next years. Pluto entered finally in Aquarius, and it will keep making these profound, transformative changes, especially in technology. Is really, really crazy. It's actually a little bit scary. And the question is, at one point, can we has the technology advanced, as these automatic processes and systems and all of this keep going, at one point can we as human beings, as empathic beings, as unconditional loving beings, that where we can feel each other, where we can understand each other, how can we progress this technology advancements at the same time being human beings? This is the question. Anyways, I will try to make another video soon. I hope to find you well, and I see you soon. Bye.
Won't you do for love? You try everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I wanna do. Make me do for love